Hi, this is Travis in the Uncanny Valley. So I'm trying to get to where I'm doing things that are more current as I get better at handling myself. So uh, tonight I had an instance of that where I handled myself much better, but then I realized a minute later that I didn't do everything. I wasn't able to be present enough to do all the things I've learned. So I'll just explain that real briefly, kind of vague, but so tonight I was somewhere uh, at a kind of coordinated group event, and I was sorting some stuff, and the person in charge in that area, there was I was near a group of people. Um, I wasn't in the group of people. I was near the group of people. If I can have my choice of being in a group of people or near a group of people, I will choose near a group of people. And anyways, I was near the group of people and he was speaking to them and he turned to me and said, "Hey Travis, where are you at?" Making eye contact with me while he's asking me where I'm at. And I was like just kind of like giving him a dead expression, like I don't think I gave any change. I just stared at him. And he gestured, he's like kind of at the ground. He's like, "Where are you at?" And I was dumbfounded, and I thought, "There's no way you're very much 100% asking the person that you're speaking to, and your eyes are open, and you're making eye contact with me, like we're looking at each other in our eyeballs, and you're asking me where I'm at." And I thought, I'm 100% sure that that's not what you mean, but that was that was it was so much what he was actually asking me. I just said, "I'm here." And I didn't say it with any sarcastic tone or anything. I said it to kind of be like, "Okay, I don't think this is probably what you're meaning to ask, but since it is actually very much it's absolutely what you're asking, I'll answer it." And I didn't give any tone or anything. I wasn't like, "I'm here." I wasn't doing anything like that. So that's where the improvement came in, where I wasn't um so that's the thing I'm trying to really point out, that I didn't use sarcasm, or I didn't try and make I didn't try and ridicule or devalue uh the way they were asking it. I didn't try and make them and their question the joke because I didn't understand what they were saying. I used to do that. Like that was my default, was like, "Well, you're going to ask me a question you clearly know the answer to. You you probably mean something different than what you're saying, and you're putting me on the spot and going to make me feel like, not this person, but just in general, make me feel ignorant for not knowing what you meant with the words you didn't say." And so I got to where my default reaction would be to be a smartass. So I would just basically make the question seem stupid. I mean, it's not it's just figurative, non-literal, figurative, uh, emotional speech. People that use that stuff, they they just aren't aware that. I mean, yeah, I take things literally, and um, I don't necessarily pick up on all the emotional, social emotional aspects of things being said, but they're not aware they're speaking a different language. So this isn't intentional. So I'm trying to. That's where the improvement was tonight. Was that I wasn't making. I wasn't taking the stupid that I thought I was going to be made to feel in most situations. Like I said, not in this situation, but I used to take that and say, "Well, that's what you're going to do. Let's point that back at your question, because that's a poorly worded question. Like, that's not even what you're trying to ask me. And so I didn't do that. I just said, I didn't know what he meant. And I said, I'm here. And then he just turned back to talk to the other people. And when I said that, one person, and because they saw the disconnect, they also recognized the disconnect between what he was actually asking and my answer. The difference was, while I could recognize that there was going to be a disconnect, to me they were totally connected. Like, you asked a question and I answered that question. I did answer that question. It's that there was so much other stuff added into it that wasn't spoken. So, anyways, that's just my improvement, where I wasn't being a jerk about it. And but what I the room for improvement is where I'm trying to uh, not answer questions with an answer that I don't think is what the person wants. Like, I didn't think that's what he wanted to know. Like, because I knew he was looking at me. I knew he was asking me. He was not calling me on his phone and saying, "Oh, you're behind me. I didn't know where you were." That's so, rather than answer what I don't think people are really asking, what I'm trying to do is to say, I'm taking that literally. What are you? I'm not sure that's what you're trying to ask me, but I'm taking that literally. What do you want to know? And so yeah, I've been doing that more recently. Um, Not trying to pat myself on the back. It's a simple thing. It's just it's hard to get there from what my default reaction was for so long. So yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to get to where I'm less abrasive and using less cutting words, just because I don't understand what the person isn't saying. You know, they don't understand usually what they are saying, and I don't understand what they aren't saying. And that's the disconnect, because I think everyone else there understood what he wasn't saying. They understood what he meant. And I don't think most of the other people there thought he was actually asking me where I was. I think they probably knew what he wanted to know. And like, I don't know that I want to say what he was really asking, because, like, this is from my point of view. Like, if a couple minutes later, because I thought, man, I know he's not asking, because like, he just went back to talking to people, and then I just went back to what I was doing. I was trying to figure out, like, what just happened there. And so uh, I thought about it for a while, and then I was like, I think this might be what he was maybe wanting to know, because he was like getting people on their stations, and I was like, I wonder if I think that's what he meant. And so I said, I went up to him. It was just him, and I said, a couple minutes ago, I said, "Were you meaning to ask me where I wanted to be stationed at tonight?" And he said, "Yeah. Do you want to do this?" And you know, uh, he didn't make me feel any which way for not understanding what he was saying, and I didn't make him feel any way for, uh, I didn't say anything additionally to make him feel like that was a poorly worded question. It was just that it was poorly worded for me. It was not poorly worded for. I mean, that might have been how he asked everyone else there. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so, and then I got my note out and I wrote this down, the quote, exactly what he asked me, and so that I would remember it how it was. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, that might seem like a small thing to you if anyone watches this, but like, to me, that was being able to be present. Like, that's the change. That's what I'm trying to do, is to stop being reactive. Like, someone asks a question they don't mean, and I'm the one that's going to be seen as abrasive or um, a jerk, or resistant, or uh, oppositional, or argumentative, or all that stuff, like that, all that stuff gets projected on me, for decades, and it's just exhausting because I'm not doing those things. And that's where it looks like gaslighting a lot of times, because the person can turn to everyone there and say, "You know what I mean, right?" And they'll all know what they mean. So it sounds like gaslighting when I say that's not the experience I had. They think I'm trying to mislead them about their shared experience. And that's just not what's happening. I'm saying, like, okay, well, I'm over here having a completely different experience. And it's based in the words that were said, not in you all's mutual understanding of the intent. Like, that's a different experience. Like, that can be legit, even if I don't understand what it is. Okay. And then my understanding the actual words that were said, like, that shouldn't be a stretch to say that's legit too. So that's all I'm asking for, is that, like, if we're gonna talk past each other, like, let's not pretend that the other person isn't trying just because that's easier. I mean, like, he was trying to say a very specific thing, and he said it for all intents and purposes. Everyone, like I said, everyone else there probably got what he meant, and in the moment I didn't, which I hadn't heard the or anything earlier than him saying, "Hey Travis, where are you at?" So, like, maybe with context I would have known what he was talking about. I didn't hear the context, and I'll never know. So yeah, that was encouraging for me. Like I said, it might seem small, but, like, every step is